KCTV5 political analyst Pete Mundo and Sly James are back to break down what's ahead.
Yeah, we could be in for a few crazy days. So when will we know who's won the White House? Sly, we're going to start with you.
I think when the lawsuits are over, because I do think that if this is even a close election, there'll probably be some action in court or some other method to try to sway how it turns out one way or the other. I don't think that it is pure fantasy to think that we're going to have a very reluctant President Trump if he were to be declared the loser of the vote. I don't think that he's going to say, oh, gee, that's too bad, we'll pack up and leave, without some sort of action to challenge that. So I think that's going to be a problem. And I think that could take weeks at least before we get there. And again, I think that's a sad state of affairs if we get to that point.
Pete, you know, there was an earlier report today that CNN was saying that President Trump had said that even if he's winning by a slim margin on Tuesday, he's going to declare victory. That he just responded to, in fact, just like a moment ago. He said he's going to deny, he says he denies that he will declare victory early. He says, though, I don't think it's fair that we have to wait for a long period of time after the election. That's probably what's going to have to happen, though, right, Pete?
Well, we'll see. I mean, if the results come in tomorrow night or a Tuesday night and we start to see maybe a difference from what the polls might have expected, either way, maybe this thing is wrapped up by the end of the week. I actually agree with Sly on this, that the lawyers are going to get theirs, right? I mean, they're not involved right now to not get theirs. We know that, and that's not changing. So if there's any chance of that happening, then yes, it could be a long few weeks. I hope that's not the case for the good of the country, for that matter. I hope that this thing is wrapped up in a couple of days, but I have a hard time seeing that being the case right now, and it's going to be very interesting to see how this plays out the next week, and hopefully not much longer than that.
You know, to borrow a phrase from Tina Turner, what's fair got to do with it, got to do with it. I don't understand it's not fair to have to wait. The bottom line is we wait until we have results that we can count on. And I think that that's what every American wants and every American deserves, rather than I won, oh no I didn't, oh now let's fight about it, whatever the case may be. How did we get to a point in this country where we were talking about whether or not elections were going to be open, fair, complete, relatively calm events and changes of power to where we are now? That's really a sad state of affairs. But, Pete, I agree with you. It's going to take some time to get through this. There's a whole lot of things going on. We are living in a period of time that none of us have lived through before with the effects of the pandemic. And the last thing I'll say is that you shouldn't be mad at the lawyers, because the lawyers at least have some full employment situation going on here, which helps the economy, right?
Oh, yes. The lawyers looking out for the rest of us little guys. But to your point there, I don't like when any candidate says that they're not going to sit there and accept what the results are. As long as that mail-in ballot is postmarked by Election Day, that vote should count. But what bothers me is that, President Trump can get called out when he has some rhetoric that's a little hot on not accepting results. But I will remind everybody that it was Hillary Clinton who said Joe Biden should not accept the results of the election no matter what, under any circumstances. She said that, it got no attention. So there is some of this going on both sides. That's all I'll say.
Yeah, but there's one thing about it. Donald Trump is running against Joe Biden, not Hillary Clinton. He's been running against Hillary Clinton for the last 4 years. Doesn't he understand that he won? I think he does, because he seems to get very sensitive when anybody suggests that he didn't win. But at the end of the day, who gives a damn what Hillary Clinton says? Because I can tell you, there's people saying all sorts of things. The point, in fact, is if we have, for the very first time in this country's history, a president who loses by any measure and then challenges that and wants to fight about whether or not they actually lost, we have slipped to the edge of darkness. And that's something that we can't afford. And I don't care whether the president is Democratic, Republican, or from the East Congo. The bottom line is that's not what America's about. That's never been what we've been about. And we shouldn't be even having to talk about this now as if it's really a deal. And it is a deal.
It is, but we'll see how much it is come Tuesday night, right? Because there might be a chance that this thing is over either way. by Wednesday morning. That would be a good feeling for everybody involved.
That would be super. I think it would be great. And then all we have to do is back up the moving van.
We'll see about that. We'll see. Oh, I guess Melania wants some new drapes. Is that what's going on?
And Daddy wants a new pair of shoes.
That's right.
Oh, I hate to break this up. You guys have been so fantastic for joining us. Even though you both have your differences, you've also found some common ground during what has been or what is going to be a difficult election.
Yeah, we certainly appreciate you guys, and thanks so much. It's going to be a fascinating next couple of days. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.